click one button here, the YouTube VOD's going to start, and then I'm going to immediately press this noise. And it's already shouting in my ears, but it's fine. It's fine, because we get to click this button, and you can all enjoy the intro. I will be back shortly in that. Desperately love to gain all this time on anyone ahead, get a couple quick 10 seconds. That's the send! What was that from JB? That was a very, very odd move and the break-in. Makes him think about it is enough to make him get some space, and that's an error around the corner as well. As a slide, and that might be enough to open the door, and I think Ethan has done that sweetly. That is honestly a nice, nice move. This is absolute pandemonium for this race. Chaotic, everyone's dropping everywhere. This corner's amazing for letting people go for it. I think I've just seen is that... As Ryan is looking at the inside to send it at turn 3. He's almost going to collect the AlphaTauri. He is going to collect the AlphaTauri. This is going to be a bit mental. Into this. Oh my sweet Jesus, we've just seen. I may be keeping an eye on the weather, but is this a routine stop? GB Sanderson. We're going all of them. Am I sniffing through wide? Who's for a brief second was in the lead as well. Josh does go ahead and cross the line to take the win. And oh my. And this is the thing I actually want to mainly keep an eye on, as Brian and Josh have made contact before finishing settings. Coming across the line we go. Squeezes them all the way to the line. F1 Kid has won. Sasso's not going to try and go down the inside. And we're going to have a little free full wide moment again in NSL lead. Over the line we go. And the smallest gap we've probably seen in NSL history has given Josh the win in Brazil by 1600. Hi everyone. New microphone here. I'm kidding, it's the same new one we've had for a while. Welcome back, it's NSL Day, it's the action. It is indeed the Austrian Grand Prix and all that good stuff. It's the last race before the season break. Things have gone down. There is no Sonny Hayes. I'm strongly aware there isn't Sonny Hayes. Please don't shout at me. It's coming back after the next half. You didn't get the point. Anyways, intro stuff. Anyways, move on. Hi everyone, I hope we're chilling. Let me talk through Austria just in case it's fresh and new in your heads, but I'm pretty certain we all know it and we all know what it's like. The Red Bull Ring. It's a nice short track. It's got a lot of points to get some overtakes going. There's DRS galore, there's free entire zones. If there's a straight, your rear wing's open. It's going to be probably similar to like the first round at Jeddah where DRS basic, if you had it, you was in play. And you could cook up and you could do something. So we'll find out. Softest tires, 36 lap race. And in case we haven't clocked, it is a sprint. which is going to be a good time. And in fact, I might as well just skip straight away to showing you the format and all the stuff for a sprint, because it's different than normal. 12 laps, as I said, for this round. There's a couple more sprints left in the season. There's Spa. There's Vegas. Yes, there's Vegas. We'll get to that later. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That's not for a long while. Points, a little bit different in the sprint. 13 for first, 10 second, and 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to 8th place. Point fast lap is the usual business. So we have the sprint first. Set by reverse championship grid order. That's how you get that. So if you're last in a championship with a point scored and you've turned up in a race, you're on pole today. Good. And if you're first, you're at the back. One shot quali for the normal session after that, which is just the standard stuff, and then the proper race. So it's a tiny bit like F1's real system, except I think better because I made it. So that's my excuse for that. We'll leave it there. I won't go into all the other rules and stuff. I'm pretty certain we know it. And I'm stashed for time. We need title stuff. We need to see what's cooking up on that board. Forget all of that. Have a constructor's order and have what I'm surprised to read, and I almost thought I typed it wrong, a large gap in points between the top and further down. 188 points for the Haas team, 154 for Ferraris, 71 for the Williams. There's a bit of a gap. That's almost double. I'm genuinely now going to double check to see if I'm lying to myself, because even that seems extortion, but I don't think it is. Aston Martin's in 4th place of 42. Then to the Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine, Red Bull, and the rest. 2 bottom still don't have any. And it's the first time in a while none of those teams have moved positions. Thank you for the graphic sense. It's a lot. It's very useful. The drivers, tiny bit different. Still the top 3, the same order. Dylan on 124 points. 2nd place is Josh on 87. 3rd place, F1 Lightning on 64 points. A couple ahead of Ron. Finally got that podium streak. Podium Baron streak, I guess. Broken last time out. Then we have Ethan in 5th, Pooch in 6th, GB in 7th, Kieran is now 8th, alongside his fellow Kieran. Kizzo is in 9th, and Harry's in 10th. I think Raul is the one who's dropped off the top 10 board now. Obviously not raced in a hot second. That's your order. That's your lot. We should get into setting up the session. The lobby is open. It's a bit late. We've got 5 minutes to set the lobby up. That involves a sprint, which involves an entirely different setup. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It is open. I'm going to stop shouting epic music now because we need slightly more chill. All right, lobby's open. Let's do the thing. Why am I not appearing online every 4? Okay, good. Xbox, please. I was online because I changed this Monday. Why is it unonline? I missed some things as well in the stream. Thank you for the follows, by the way, that have come at the 2, 3. I can't count or read, but there's been multiple, so thank you for that one. And Adam, thank you for the 30 stream watch streak as well. Love to see that. And Rachel for the sub earlier on, the 2 months tier 1. Sorry I've missed those. If they're going on Junior Intro, I try and not. I love it either way. Thank you. It's still much appreciated. It's not any lesson. I got you. Thank you. It's time to cook. Time to go, you know. All right, let's get the invites in. Who do we need to have in a session? Because I need to invite people from PC, myself. Thank you, everyone who's joins easily without me having to do the thing, because scariness. Oh, I forgot we don't put it in there. Looking for where the thing is, and it's gone. But we move. Ron is saying hi to everyone. Please stop doing that. Kidding. Aaron's saying hi. It's nice. You're allowed to say hi to people. Okay, who do I need to invite in? Dylan's name is already in. Boom. Pepsi's name. Oh, Pepsi. That will mean I need to go and add a new name on the list. That is necessary. Don't worry, we're not going to start late. We'll miss anything. I know I was late technically, so it's fine in case it gets to 8. Don't worry, it's on me this time, to be fair. You're all good. You're not going to miss out on any times and things. You're chilling. Scroll for the list. Where's Dylan's name? He's already in. Boom. Where's Apollo Pepsi's name? It should be. Are we doing this again? Don't do this to me again. There we go. Thank you. Praise the Lord. I was worried I wasn't going to see it. Kieran's name is Axel. It's probably already in. Mr. Spuds is on PC, so we'll go find him. Rachel, I'm good. A little bit rushed and stressed today. For some reason. Can't be because I rushed home and stuff like that and was busy out. I had a good day. It's just tired. But don't worry, I am all good. I'm a bit scatty right now, but I'll be fine eventually. F1 Kid, I think, should already be in. We're running late. There for all my dreams. Right. No, that's strong statements. We don't need that. What? Why have I just read? I'm not responding to that. No. I'm taking the bit and I'm moving on. I can't respond to that because I don't know what it means. Anyways, Fight Rob's playing to the session as well. I think he's not on PC, it's fine. Is most of the people already in? In fact, let me just count. Are we just missing 2? Who are we missing? That's probably quicker to do. Everyone's already in a lot quicker than I expected. Shout out to everyone on that one. Shout me in the chat if you are missing. I think Turbo might be missing, and then Dune more. And that's it. We're good. We're good. Pooch. Damn. Sorry, Turbo. Sorry. We're good. Have you seen... no. Great lad. No, I have not. I hate you. I don't like this. All right, I need to move this onto this other screen because I need to set the grid. Josh, is the one that's in the announcements changed? Yes, it is. Okay. Had to check, but I'm pretty certain it was. I'd already double checked. All right, let's go do the order. As I said, reverse grid, a little different. Good vibes. Scrollage up. Pole position for this race officially. And if it reads wrong, it's because of Josh who typed it wrong on the screen. It's going to be Turbo. Second place is going to be Mr. Spuds on the grid. Third is going to be Kizzo. Where is it? By the way, this is the quickest anyone's ever joined. How the hell has this happened? This takes 4 hours normally. Kizzo in third. Kieran in fourth. Pooch eventually... No, he's already in. Sorry. Again, how's even Pooch in the session already? In fifth. Ethan in P6. Seventh place is Ron. Eighth place is F1 Lightning. Boom, let's go. Ninth is Josh. 10th is Dylan. 11th is Ethan. Then Apollo Pepsi. And then Rolls Point. And that is the grid. Done in no time. Oh, we're speedy. Now I just need to double check the rest of the settings again. And we can cook. We can go straight in. Safety car needs to be burned off. We don't do that. Formation lap. This is a silly question. I'm asking for my own league. Do we do a formation lap? Josh, my brain is, I promise you, my brain's all over the gaff. Do we do the formation lap? We don't, right? Listen. It wasn't request. It's been a long day. It's been a lot. All right, listen. I had to do it on the screen, otherwise you would have shouted at me if I hadn't checked it. I know the rest is fine. Anyways, rest of the lobby's done. Wake up, Jet. I'm trying. I am trying. All right. I think we can ready up. There's nothing more for me to do. As always, after this sprint is done, hop straight out the race. We're going into the proper quality session, brand new lobby, so don't stick around in this. Go drive. Right. Drink water. Yeah, you know what? Wait, let me hydrate. Everyone ready up. Let me hydrate. It's just crazy. I don't like being unprepped. I don't like it. It's like a scary thing for me. It's not scary. It's just unnecessarily stressful. I ain't a fan. Sorry if I've missed like 900% of the things in the chat in the meantime as well. Again, it's me being stupid as usual, but it's fine. And I need to do the thing so I can listen to the game audio with my beautiful headset. There we go. I quite need that. All right, we're good to go. We're cooking. This has been easy. This has been fine and fun and fine. We're having a good time. Forgot his what? No, I can't not waffle. I just waffle less coherent than I was originally. I don't know if that's a good thing. I think that's probably categorically bad. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are kicking off immediately with some rain. Oh, that'll wake me up. That'll wake me up. That'll wake me up. Yeah, listen, I love NSL. NSL delivering on a regular basis. For context, everyone shouts at me for match fixing the rain when I literally I can't do anything to do about it. The game just loves me and likes that I like that, so that's what we do. Sprint sessions, we had a strat plan initially of like, I know what tires are going to be used. I'd heard some rumors that, a couple of different compounds will get mixed up. I don't think it's going to matter. Something's going to tell me it ain't going to matter. Although that's a good comment though. I would absolutely love for it to be where it's dry enough to just be on dry. This could be cinema. I don't need the notes. The tie strap notes aren't necessary today for this sprint. We're fine. Anyways, this is going to be intriguing to see how it does. Obviously, every sprint we do, the whole point of me setting up at least is essentially to give the people who are not as quick a chance to start at the front, mix it up. We either get the quick people at the back rushing through, and that's one of the best races, or the slower people stepping up, putting that pressure on, and then they end up delivering. It's all in all good. And it works, and it's fine. I have seen you over. I'm sorry. My brain's everywhere. I've already gone into normally I need 30 minutes of just like standard waffle before I get into NSL waffle. And I haven't had that. I've gone straight into this. So it's scary. I promise I've seen you all in the chat. I'm here. Ish. I'm semi-coherent. I don't know about that. Are the drivers semi-coherent? Let's give them that. Let's see what they've got on the board. Tyres on the board. Oh, would you look at that? It's dry tyres on a rated track. We are racing in the sprint in Austria. And we've got dry tyres on a wet track. The game is the game. So far, we've got a lot of cars going wide, but Turbo's managed to stay in the lead so far. We've got Kizzo, Pooch, and the two Williams semi-side-by-side. I say semi-side-by-side. They're more than side-by-side. Rod is barging through to get into third. The two Hasses are trying to jostle. Collided with a Ferrari as well. Was that Dylan and Josh collided? I think it might have been. There's an end plate for sure gone of someone's car, and I don't know who. Now, there's a big question here. Is the rain going to get worse, better? Is it going to do nothing? Is that Ethan singing it down the inside of Mr. Spuds? Dylan trying to go around the outside, and Mr. Spuds hasn't survived it, nor has Apollo Pepsi, having to take the escape road. It's brutal out here. It really is brutal. And I don't even mean the track conditions. I just mean the fact that everyone's moving crazy in terms of fighting for space on the track. How have people got away through it cleanly? I think Dylan and Josh did make a tiny bit of contact, but that was probably the most minor of the lot so far. Further back, we've got side-by-side again. That's F1 Lightning and Josh going side-by-side. That's a snap and a half. So there's already been a drive-through, I think, from... Oh, and they've collided with a tyre model. There's an Ever 2 collided. Squeezed to the inside. Going over to turn 1. Guys, the conditions aren't allowing it. So I might as well mention it, considering... Apparently, we're starting on dries, and I wasn't expecting that as Mr. Spuds has lost it going into the pit lane, I think, slightly. And there is Ron going into second place, ahead of the McLaren, and the Aston Martin of Pooch having to settle for fourth place there alongside Dylan, who's trying to steal fourth place for himself, and that's a spin for Ethan. Further back, and that's damage. That's a front wing gone. No chance to pit and gain any time, or any of it back. You are done at that point. Very brutal in this. So, yeah, tyre strategy is my point. It was going to be quite contentious between the hard tyre and the medium, which most have gone on the medium. A few people have known that the hard tyre is competitive, and you have to manually select that, and have done so. But I don't know if that's really going to make a difference today in this exact session. I suspect this is going to be one where the rain just stays here constantly and just gives you an added bit of slippage at all times. No one's really going to have much confidence on their cars, know what to do. The Aston Martin is sniffing the diffuser of Kizzo's car. He wants himself a P3, and I think he might have to go for it into turn 1. DRS is enabled, by the way. DRS is firmly enabled. That's a wide moment for Kizzo, leaves the door slightly open for Pooch, and then Dylan's going to join in that one as well, and I think he might take both positions for himself. And is Ethan going to try and join in too? He takes one. And takes 2. Can he stop it in time before he hits Dylan? He can't. But Dylan doesn't get too disturbed by it. I think Ethan's probably come out worse. That wasn't the best braking though, but again, understandable from conditions. Still not allowed. That's the big thing. But let me set position changes or something. I need a sit rep to go on. Ron's gained 5 positions in second place. 3.7 away from the lead of Turbo, who's managed to hold on to it and got some free air. That's crucial in a sprint. You get free air wherever you are, you can start to work in it, you can start to gain free positions because everyone else hasn't, and you're good to go. Ron does have cars directed behind that pretty quick to push him on, so we'll see what goes down. Dylan's also gained a lot of positions. He's gained 7. Ethan's gained 2, sorry. People have lost some positions. Kizzo, Kieran down 2 and 4 as they're switching positions, actually, for the final few quarters. But they were down 3 apiece between the two of them. As fastest laps are getting traded across the board. Spurs obviously down the most from that little bit of a moment. And the two other title protagonists still down here in 8th and 9th. Traffic in the way, fighting each other. And just, I think they're slowly catching the McLarens. They weren't this close before. So they're making progression. It's just, they can't make much more. 2 cars taken out in a single lap. That's probably good terms for a sprint here today. I'm not going to lie, as that's a bump. I think an end plate might already have been missing from Kieran's car, but that's a bump between Josh and one of the McLarens. Maybe he was right, GTL. Maybe he was right. There's damage galore. I suspect a few cars are carrying... Oh, my lord, that was closer than I thought. I say carrying damage, more like carrying less weight on their cars. As round the outside, we've got Dylan through the middle sector on Ron's car. That's a very slow run through that middle sector. I'm wondering if offline there is enough to really slow you that much. Maybe it is. Pooch getting 3 seconds of track limit penalties means he might be out of the fight for this position, or whatever it's going to be by the end. But he's got a big-ish gap right now to the cars behind. But there's still 7 laps to go. It's not guaranteed he's going to keep that 3.8 seconds he's got on his head top for now. We'll get tyres back on the screen, although I don't know what pictures that's going to be playing. The 2 cars, I should say, who did have incidents at the start have gambled onto the inters, and I suspect it's probably like a 50-50. It's probably even, but in a sprint, you need it to be like overwhelmingly positive to do that because no one else is guaranteed to pit. So you might be the same pace, but if you're the same pace before without having a pit stop, probably worth staying on the same tyre. Worth the risk, I guess. If you pit anyways, might as well do something. See what happens. It could get worse. You could be the victor. We have no clue. Rachel, thanks for stopping in, by the way, as always. No worries that you're in for a little bit of time or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's an amount of time, and I appreciate it nonetheless. Have a good rest of your day. Hope you're good. I will hydrate. I'll breathe at some point in between these sessions. Whenever I can. F1 Lightning and Josh have now finally, I say cleared the McLarens. They're ahead of them, but they haven't cleared them yet. Points go down to 8, so one McLaren will sneak a point in, and these two are going to try and charge down Pooch for that position eventually, if they can get within 3 seconds. Dylan's almost got a second away. Hang on. That's a wide Pooch and a wide Ethan. And I'm not sure if I saw damage flying off the car. I don't remember if Ethan already had damage on his Ferrari. Both Ferraris, I think, have end plate damage. Let's get a confirmation on that. Yes, they do. So I'm not sure if I just saw damage fly off or if I'm seeing things now. Like I said, a lot of cars not having entire vehicles left on their heads, really, to handle. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. That's from Ethan, I think. It is. Thought it was Pooch for a second in the 4th battle, but it looks like he was still in the same place, and that is a real locking moment. The Rowlick special in honor of the legends of NSL. Apparently now he's the legend of NSL. I'm giving it props. Listen, he real locks. It was entertaining to watch. It's legendary status, in my opinion. There's an ever slide going on. Everyone is sliding. There's no doubt about it. Oh, my... Every single corner I'm seeing, every car is drifting. All of them. This is just the conditions. You can't pit, so you can't do anything. Although it looks like it's eased off finally. This is the driest look. It was always raining on the cars, and the track did look a little moist. I think it's starting to come to the track finally, and I guess in that instance, come to the drivers. And I probably initially will prefer the medium runners to prosper for a little bit longer, but eventually, like I said, the hard tires were meant to be quicker, or at least close-ish on paces. That is Ron going down the inside on turn 3. He'll get DRS back the other way around. That was some visual artifacts, but it wasn't actually damaged. Dylan's car is fine. This might be now a more even battle. DRS will play a big part in this, though. If you can keep it, no matter what your pace is, you can be fine, but if you hit the car ahead, that might make life tricky. He somehow avoided it. And Dylan knows he's got a title to keep going, so he can't take too big of a risk and run into a car by accident. So Pooch might just take that position straight off his hands. I don't know what I just cut away from and saw. I think contact was made again. I want to get a front wing angle here to double check. They've still got front wings. It might have been a bit of lag stutter or something, but I didn't know if Pooch just aggressively cut across him or if he got damaged. I don't know. I have no clue. I would love weather radar levels of GT7 compared to this, like localized weather coming to certain corners of the track. I know in F1 it's just, if it's raining everywhere, and it's obviously nowhere near as detailed, but I would love that. Because especially for them as well, for us to watch, to know where it's coming in, and for the drivers to know, okay, it's coming in at this end of the track, I can handle it for like most of the lap. I'd love that. It'd be really cool. It'd be really cool. They'd definitely be wanting that today, side by side of the McLarens into turn 3. They just got their own battle right now. They're not a little bit too far away from the cars ahead. Comfy-ish gap to the cars behind who have had a couple incidents, so they've dropped back. And both, they're getting a point. As long as they don't take each other off the road, one of them's getting a point. It's just a matter of which one. Highest in the championship right now is Kieran, but they're both called Kieran. So in that case, that doesn't make a difference. Kieran was called Kieran in the game. But regardless, they're just going to keep going for it, have a good time. That might change a couple things. Ron has joined the track limit penalty merchant people. That's a phrase. He's gone 3 seconds of his own. By the way, Turbo is, when clear air, is straight up just pulling away. As the track's drying, slowly getting quicker, he's just pulling away. With clean air, he's got himself a chance to just put in his laps, not have to focus on defending or anything. But the more important thing, yes, penalties. If those 3 seconds stay for these two cars between Pooch and Ron, Dylan's going to take that position straight back from them all. So Dylan's going to know that and now can probably ease off the gas a bit, chill, let them sort their fight out. Can probably afford to stay behind him if he wants and do nothing. Dylan doesn't do that in NSL, as you can see. He's going for the move on both of them. And now he's ahead of 2 cars as Ron and Pooch are going to be left to fight on their own. Dylan's back into second place. I was trying to describe a more cautious driver, and Dylan's like, I ain't doing that. Yeah, so the position's on offer. I'll go around the inside, the outside, whatever the place is. He'll do it. He wants a title back in his hands. He lost it after last season. Well, he didn't attend much of last season, but he lost it then. He wants it back. We'll see what he's got. The protagonists are still in 6th and 7th. Closing in now on Ethan's car. If we can get the leader gap as well, actually, to see. They are almost within 3 seconds of Pooch. Well, in fact, no, I should say, I think F1 is. Yeah, F1 is. It's just, they both are, yeah. If I can do maths correctly, they are both. They're within about half a second to a second ahead. So they will get that P4 off Pooch's hands. Which means if these two fight too much, or the gap's got a little bit too big, they could both risk losing the position there. Right now, I think Ron will keep his podium in the sprint. Hello, Ethan, having a little sneaky look down the inside at the last second. The hard time's probably prevailing now. Probably actually got some more pace on the rest. And I think, starting to show that one off. Again, doesn't need to take the position, but probably wants it. As obviously the cars behind are going to obviously try and close that one in as well. Paddock Pulse for the raid. Thank you very much, you legends. Welcome in. We've got action. We've got heat in action. You know what we got going on, Jacob. All the stuff is going down. I hope you've been good. Hope you've been well. We're on what lap? We're on lap 10 of this sprint. Lap just sectors. Oh, okay. Smoke popped up for a second. I didn't know what was going down, man, but we're still doing good. We're going great. We're going great. Tiny bit rushed into the start of the stream, but the stream itself is fun. NSL's doing its utmost to give us some nice, cool content. And we've still got an entire race and qualifying to go. We're having a great time. It is fun. It is fun. Pooch and Ethan still going side by side again, as I believe that's put Pooch back into P4 on the straight. That is a snap and a sharp right away to make sure he can keep his car intact and on the road. You've still got Dylan and Ron jostling positions, at least on track. But also we've got a few here. And look who's joined the party. Josh and F1 Lightning have finally joined Ethan and Pooch for the on-track battle for P4. Reminder, as I said, 3 second penalty for Pooch. On track, it doesn't matter. Ron's 3 seconds would put both Ethan, Josh, and F1 Lightning all jump ahead of him, I think, if my brain's right. I'm pretty certain Ron's under threat for that podium all of a sudden. That's a bit of a scary one. He might want to just work with Dylan here, just to pull away if he can. Or just hope these guys go rogue. There's a couple options here. I can't math quickly enough, but I'm quite certain that 3rd place is under threat. It could be rough. It could be rough. No worries, man. Listen, it's fine. If lives get busy, and it's life. It's more important than an F1 league. If you've got time to put it in, then it's good fun. Okay, voice crack central. As Pooch has said, you know what? The front wing departed straight on a 4-hour flight to some other country, and his car is down to 7th. I'm not sure where he lost it, what is clipped, but his car has decided that is the end of this battle. And he's going to have to settle for a lot worse than this. I don't know what he can salvage, considering this is the last lap. He's going to have to squeeze all his pace out to hold on to a P7. Both McLarens might be in for a double points finish if they can push in on him. Depends how slow Pooch goes for the rest of this lap. 2nd place is still cooking and doing whatever it's doing. Ron can't catch him at the moment. They're staying where he is. There's still the Ferraris and the Haas trying to push for 3rd place. And, well, I'm pretty certain most of them have that position from Ron. I'm not sure when they'll get it. Silently, by the way, we have to give some love to Turbo Snail, who has got the gap, got the clean air, and looks like he's going to close and get himself a brilliant first good result in NSL. He takes the win of the sprint. Dylan's going to come across in 2nd. Further back, cars cutting corners all over the gaff. Ron crosses the line 3rd. He will take P5. 6/100ths of a second keeps him in 5th place for the sprint. F1 Lightning has to settle for 6th place. But that is the order so far. Dylan does end up getting second. Josh third. Good result considering there was a lot of cars in between Dylan and Josh after a while. And then he's managed to close it up with penalties, whatever. People making mistakes and him not, most importantly. Ferraris, that's a pretty good result for them too. That's an interesting race. That was pretty good. A couple of people got some incidents later on as we got Kieran. Didn't manage to get a pole He ends up going down to 10th. Rob's in 11th. Mr. Spud's 12th. And ART Ethan is the only DNF. Couple people missing out on points. Pooch did survive for more than a 1 points finish as well. Stuff happened. Stuff happened. I did not catch Pooch's whatever Pooch did. I didn't catch it. All I caught was a random car going wide as I was looking at another battle, and it had no front wing. I also caught me with a voice crack as well. Stuff went down. I wish that I saw that from... Stop having incidents when I'm not actually looking. Come on, this ain't it. This ain't it. Anyways, let me give you the order on the grid, obviously, for the sprint. The points don't matter about that because we have our own custom points, but Turbos has got himself the win. Big 13 points. Sorry, he'll be taking home from that one. Starting pole, actually converted. It's going to be one of the first in a while that's converted a pole from the sprint. Then we had Dylan, Josh, Ethan, Ron, F1 Lightning, Pooch. Kids are wrapping up the top 8 with the points. Then Apollo, Kieran, Rob's Boy, Spuds, the finishers. Ethan in the Aston Martin, the one who unfortunately DNF'd in this one. But I'd say that's a good rain race. It was a good rain-affected thing, if you want to call it. That was not too bad. We can now leave the session because we've got a proper race to do. That ain't all it. We've still got a lot more action to go. We've got an entire qualification session. Then we've got more. I enjoyed that. Talk to me. How are we? How are we? Did you enjoy the rain with dry tires? I like Cody's. Cody's are good. They like cooking up the weather. There was alerts and stuff coming through in in the thing. When I was mid commentary, I had to lock into comms. I heard them, but if comms are going on, I'm going for it. Let me miss what I got. Let me open the session firstly so we can get crash my game. Okay, all right, we'll crash the game. Now we've got to restart the music. What did I miss? What did I say? Are you okay? Wait, are you okay, Pro fan? If so, no, yet no. I'll answer these quickly. K-Pro fan, no, not particularly. Don't remember any albums specifically. No, I'm not watching every single Power Rangers thing. I can't. That's a lot of no's. I feel bad, but those are the answers. Those are the scary ones. How many people didn't have setups? I'm concerned. Why are a lot of people mentioning that? That's multiple people saying setups weren't cooking. All right. I'm hyping out. I think we had a good day. I love content. I like being on this side of it. It's so much more fun just being on the side of not stressing about the league race stuff. I love the league race stuff, and I love being like, oh, I don't like weather messing it up. Tire strat has to be perfect and everything. But it's great. No. Are you telling me it's not on? It shouldn't. It should be. It's right now telling me it's streaming to it. I was going to say, yeah. Well, I see how it is, Josh. You're trying to scare me. Anyways, let's go cook. Let's open up the main session for the main race. Ping's coming up, just so you know, in the Discord, in case you're wondering where we're at and all that jazz. Pingage. Let's go. Everyone, please join as quickly as possible. How is you, Nange? Nange is... I'm good. I am okay. I'm going to use this to now breathe. Or at least attempt to. I don't know. My brain's been all over the gaff, but it's been a fun time. I think that was nice and entertaining for the sprint. I liked it. I liked it. A lot happened. I don't know if it was coherent, but I feel like the name of the game when we do one of these sessions, but you know the drill, right? Lobby is confirmed. Set. I'm ready. We can invite the people. Everyone, flood yourselves back into the session. PC people and stuff. I will be spamming you invites as we speak. Let's go. Let's go. How stressful? How stressful are we talking, man? I need to hear. Well, I don't need to hear, but like, I need. If you want to vent a tiny bit, feel free. A little bit. I have to specify. I don't want everyone just like crapping on their workplaces. I feel that's bad practice, you know? Alright, let's get the PC people in as many as I can remember. I'm not going in any specific order this time. It's... I don't know if I have an order when I do it. I just pick names and we go for it. We'll see. We'll see. Feel your pain because I'm not jobless. That's a It's a strong claim, Pooch. It's a strong claim. This one, game crap. Yeah, I think the game likes doing that upon me getting invites. Not upon receiving an invite from me. That's not been an uncommon thing where I've actually sent an invite. It's like, you know what? No, don't worry. Again, we'll wait a little bit. We've got plenty of time. So, we'll be good. We'll be good. Okay. Let me get the list back up so I can remember all the names. I need to invite into the session. Again, shout me if you got one already and it didn't work and you need another one, etc. I'll be good. We'll be fine. Right. Lando is quite literally a hired human. Yeah, he can't be classified as jobless. McLaren pay him money. That's all right. That's a statement. That is a statement there. I've had a health and safety meeting because so many people are not the spot. I don't feel for phone because it happens. It happens. Jobless behavior doesn't mean having a... Yes, but I mean, no, I don't believe it has an official term. I believe it's just a way to slander someone if you just don't like them. Which is not necessary. There's no need. Stop paying energy into hating people. Just move on with your lives. Tell them, say you dislike them, and move on. It don't matter. It don't matter. Welcome to EA Sports Focus Sport. Okay, that is a... I'd rather play that. Let me get in that one. Okay, let's go for the invite. I'll go for the invites if I haven't sent anyone in. Again, if you get kicked off the game, get back on the game. That was nice of me. That was really nice of me. Okay, let's go through. I think I've clicked Turbo Snell and Mr. Spud's name again. We're good. Who else's name do I need? Dylan needs one. Is it going to show half the names is the question. Why is it refusing to show anyone's names on the board? So I'm just gonna have to scroll and find. I can't stress enough. I need a strongly reformed invite system on this game. ASAP Rocky, EA, please. Cody's. That's the one thing. This can't run. Whatever I've got currently, it can't continue. It hurts my brain to have to scroll. There's no search thing. I'm ranting midway through when I should be setting up the lobby. Can't be having it. Can't be having it. Anyway, no, but all right. Games are still crashing. Well, you got an F, Dylan. You got an F off when you come back. All right, we're missing 4, I think. So we'll get the rest in. Pitch being firmly on that. I don't know what that energy is. You're on something, Pitch. You're on something. Channel that into the game. But, yeah, why this? I think this happened more than just China. I'm certain this has happened at least more than once. I don't know why this is consistently happening. It's my brain. I don't know. Anyways, 2.5 quality in my opinion. I mean, if I do that, I'm gonna have to have a random grid, and then everyone will shout at me. It'll be funny, but no one will accept that. We are missing Pooch. We're missing who else? Wait, is F1? Oh, I scrolled past his name, assuming it was already in. F1 Liner is not in the session. I'll go find him an invite. I got him. Mr. F1 Liner, your game is about to crash in about 5 seconds. Just thought I'd let you know. There you go. Oh, he's already in. Damn. That's pain. Josh's invite has to have a virus. So you also have to ban him for spreading viruses in NSL. That's kind of crazy. Anyways. We move. Just a reminder, by the way, just in case everyone's confused at the setup while we're waiting and stuff, I should remind myself, to be honest. We're going to do a one-shot grid. If you're confused why we're not doing a normal short qualifying like we normally do before a big race, when it's a sprint round, we don't. It saves time. I just think this whole faff takes a long amount of time, and it's just easier and quicker. But it's still a normal session from this point onwards. Qualifying is going to set the main grid, and the grid goes straight into the proper race. There's no extra stress. It's just a little bit more high risk, high reward for the drivers. We'll see if that actually does something, and sees if anyone bottles on a big lap. They take a little bit less risk. There's a couple options to see what they do. I like the idea of a one-shot quali as ideas for like variations and stuff. Maybe not all the time, but on one-offs, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's a nice touch. Not to anyone driving. Everyone driving hates it. But I understand. It's just Pooch, right? It's just Mr. Pooch. Where is this human's 4 Acer Aspire laptop? I only know that's a bad laptop because I used to have that laptop back in the day, or at least one of the models. Shout out to the Acer guy. He'll get one invite, and if he's not in by this point, it's toast. Oh, he's in! We can kick off. That was quick. Okay. I think I can not hit the mic with my hand. That's probably making more noise than necessary. I'm sorry about that. We can kick off with this music and tell everyone to ready up because it's time. That's the wrong message to be pinging in the chat. I was about to ping the entire wrong thing. Try that one in the Discord. It's time to go. Double, triple checking. The lobby's set, but I'm pretty certain we're ready and we're cooking. There's nothing to do. The grid's on one shot. The weather's fine. The damage is fine. Everything's fine. Are the people fine? I don't know. It might not be. It might not be a fine time for them. If it rains, I'm banning you from your own channel. I can't wait. I will be there. E15 was not mine. I'll find out what model mine was. It weren't that one, but I know which one it was. I've still got it somewhere. It barely works, but it's alleged. Listen, it provided the early content from early, so it's a good day. It's a good day. We have to give it back. Okay. Music, go away. Are we allowed to know what you was going to ping? No. I was just going to ping the main lobby open message again. It's unfortunately boring topics. I just mid-clicked. Okay. Let's go and cook. Did I read the mod chat? No, I did not. I was too busy abruptly pausing the music. I shall have a read. Is today... It could be. Listen, Josh, it could be. It could be. Might not be because I'm guessing you're not here to help. We'll... Maybe a retroactive one after the stream's over. But I see why you're saying it. I see why you're saying it, Josh. Mod chat duties, you know? I see what he's cooking. I see what he's doing. I see him. He's cooking. Okay. Big race. Finally, we can actually go and do some normal stuff. Hoping for some drama. Unfortunately, I don't like drama, and if I have to get involved in it, it's normally kept quite quiet because it's not an interesting thing for me. I don't like to entertain it much. I just like to get on with my own thing and waffle to my heart's content. On all of the above. Ooh. Oh. I like that idea from Josh, from Raul, by the way. That's a good idea. Now, okay, so I'm the one who's game. Okay, see how it is. The game has stated, from Josh's information, Josh, tell me about that other thing, by the way. The game has stated that we may have some more precipitation later, but until we get to that point, unfortunately, we have to deal with qualifying first. I will sit on board initially with our previous pole sitter from last time out, and that was Mr. Dylan West. He's collecting how many so far this season? 4. He's had Ron's gone the wrong way. He's collected 4. Plenty to his name, and now I believe is at top of the most all-time pole positions in NSL. So far in the lap, though, once it all evens out and syncs up, I do believe... Has he gone for the first sector? He must have, yes. So he's actually just in 4th. Nope, there we go, it's upset. See, I don't understand. Sometimes it re-updates, sometimes it doesn't. If this is the actual order, Ethan's currently in pole position, and I might just have to take it as is. I generally might have to take it as is. Turbo still might be going for a back-to-back starting on pole position, but for the stats-wise, get a pole to his name for the first time in NSL in a proper session. Dylan is closing in slowly. He's in 2nd position. Ethan in 3rd. The order's all different. I don't know what's going on. Everyone is everywhere. Josh is retired and is not taking the flag to do the lap. Going in 12th. And Turbo's cooked up a pole position for the first time in NSL. We've got a new pole sitter. Huge scenes. A new stat to pop on the boards. Turbo's gone back-to-back, starting at the front of the grids. Everyone looked like they was on some different energy because the entire grid was shuffled from what normally is seen in previous qualies. And that's why we love a one-shot. You can have anything you like going on. Turbo in pole for the big main race. Dylan in 2nd position. Couldn't lock it in, but enough to get 2nd. Even in P3. Pooch starting in 4th. The McLaren's 5th and 6th place. Rosboy 7th. Apollo in 8th. Mr. Spud's 9th. We've got Josh starting in P10. Ron in 11th, which is expected. He never starts a lap. Ethan in 12th in the Aston Martin. And F1 Lightning in 13th. What's going on? There's no penalties. There's no start at the back of the grid things. There's none of that. Well, there isn't for anyone attending today. This is purely just bottlage. at the highest order. There's no other way to say it. I would love to be nice, and I can put caveats in and say this and this, you know, the reason is for that, and, for, you know, it's very fine margins, and if you take the risk, it can go badly. But, I mean, wow, stuff like that can go down. Oh, Josh is already in. Good. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Stuff like that can go down. I like it from an entertainment perspective. It's the idea why I think like F1 in real life likes sprints, because you can get more action. It's not enjoyed by any teams and drivers, but from a watching perspective, at least here, we like these quick formats every now and then. It's good to mix it up. Right. So yeah, I think Dylan has correctly pointed out, by the way, that is the last time we had a sprint round was also not polled by him either. So Dylan only sets pole positions when it's a full big session. Maybe. That's a big thing, though. That's a big thing. First pole position on the board. Maybe Turbo can cut this one. He started well in the last race. 12 laps, a lot less amount of time. Triple the distance now, so we'll see how it goes. I think we've got more important matters to be talking about first and foremost, though, and that is the whole strategic mess of whatever's going to happen in this session. If it's even going to be a mess. So, stoppage. We can actually consider a 2-stop here at this track compared to a 1. I think it's fairly open-ish. I think maybe a second difference on pace around that. But that can easily be changed up just by being a different pace with the car ahead or behind. Yeah, VSC saving you a small amount of time. I mean, VSC is more than enough time to push you to an strat if you want it, etc. There's a couple options. We'll see what happens. But on the face of it, everyone has got the options to do both. They're all in the mediums. We can either have a medium hard, or we can have a medium and a variation of medium, medium hard, medium hard, medium, medium hard, hard. You get the gist. I think they're probably going to prefer having 2 hard tires because of tire wear. But basically, whatever 3 compounds... If I see a soft tire, actually, that's crazy. Whatever 3 sets of tires they want to use will be the game. Josh is still not got control of his car yet. Has he? Or is that you just... I hope he's got control of his car. Anyways, this is huge, though. Many cars out of normal pace position that you'd expect them to be in. Josh down in 10th, F1 Lightning down in 13th. Ron's always a bit out of position in 11th. This is kind of like a sprint order again, in terms of a couple people out of position, which could be huge. Dylan's got a huge chance if he gets away well and gets away from the rest to do something magic and get a big gap to the people behind that he's got to be focusing on for the title. But don't count on Turbo. He was there, genuinely cooking for a reason, and he won the sprint on merit. Can he do it again in the big race? Pointed to the right to defend the grey from the Haas. And we are now racing in Austria. A good start from the pair of the front two. I think they're pretty much going to have to stay the same order. No space to be given behind. Further back, the Aston Martin is trying to go side by side, but settles for 4th. And the McLaren and the Mercedes of Kieran and Rosberg having a little tap. And that might give momentum to his teammate Apollo to go all the way up the insides and keep going. Further in, hang on, wait, no, wait, as I'm seeing a send and a half from Ethan's car. Why is Josh's car is now moving? Why is Josh this far behind? What's going on? What is, I don't understand what is taking place in the game. What's happening? The rest of the race is still going, but I believe one car is having a moderate technical issue in the vehicles, and I'm not sure what's going on. The spectator is someone in the wrong car? What's happening? I actually do not know what is going down. The rest of the race is still going on. The rest of the order is still pretty much the same. If I can get the actual position change up, so we can have a see. I don't think this counts to a restart, no? Because does it? I'm generally thinking, is that only a 1-car thing? I might have to pull up my own rules to check. I don't understand what's happened, is the main question to be pulling off. I'm moderately slightly confused what's going down. Dylan, in the meantime, is going ahead and taking himself into P1. He has finally managed to clear Turbo, and he's got himself back ahead. If you can hold on to that, that's a massively different question. We'll find out. There's a long way to go. Josh's car is into the pits after some damage. I'm perplexed. I'm now having to pull up rules mid-thing because I'm confused what's happened to the car. We've had one car having a bug, which I believe has left it uncontrollable. as far as I know. Or on some variation of that, as Rolls-Royce got himself 3 seconds of penalties on the way around the track as well. I don't actually know what's happening. Oh, this is stress. Chat, give me a sec as I check some rules. I want to make sure I know I can actually carry on waffling about the race. Or not, but we move. Is this call for a restart thing? Is this actually a restart clause call? Where is the actual rule thing? Where am I looking? I love when the game does this sort of thing, which is not ideal. They're still going side by side in the corner. There's now contact going around at the same time as well. This is scary. Okay, reading the thing. Issue formation, that's not a thing we have to deal with. I mean, I guess this counts. Yes, I guess this does count. That is annoying. I don't like restarting. This is pain. Right, I think we'll have to call it. I'll have to check in this another time, but I think we're going to have to call and restart this, which means we have to go again. I hate. Right, restart ping is popping up. I'll ping it first before I actually tell them that we're doing the thing. This is a fun time. That's in the wall. If you are hearing it in the chat, yes, you can just bop out the lobby. We might as well just quick it out. This is great. Take this grid at a one in. Why would I not take another grid? I'm confused why that would be any contention to take one other grid. The issue when you start off on the race, though, right, let me sit with what's actually happened before we do that. Let's build the lobby up again, firstly, and do that. Let me ping that there's a restart going on. This is fun. This is fun. I don't like having little gaps in a thing, but if it happens, it happens. Main lobby is going to be back open again. Reeks of mod bites. So I'm trying to sum up what actually did go down, so we know. As far as I know, Josh, can you describe what actually happened for your car? So I can actually hear. I think it just lost, like he didn't actually have control of it for half of the start, like joined late. Safe car was perfect. But I would have loved that to actually happen, but yeah, unfortunately, I saw cars just spearing into the side. That was not it. Yeah, I think it was just an obvious game, but just not letting him take control of the thing, which is pain. I don't think we'd do quali as well, though. The qualifying itself was just working like that. That I can't take off. The main glitch that happened was from the race. I would be taking the quali other from that one. Yeah, I've got the quali grid. I've got the grid for the quali. I always do. The screenshot is here and ready to go. Boom. Forgot my setup. You're lucky. You're lucky. Yeah, we got a quali grid. We're going to take this one. So if you want to see what the order is going to be, it's going to be that. I don't see a reason to take any other order because there's no reason to do that. I want to double check my wording on this for the next time for this restart clause. I feel like I've confused myself with what I've typed. Anyways. Lobby, new lobby. Let's set it up and hopefully not take too long. I don't want to waste everyone's time. Whew. Good times, good times. Load in the save. I do love when things go smoothly. It's today of all days that it's deciding let's just go a bit rogue and mess everything up, but it's fine. Right, let's make sure the lobby's set. I'll try and be speedy, but I want to make sure I don't rush something and break the entire grid because that would be a bad thing, and then everyone was shouting me. As always as well, if anyone asks the weather, we don't preset it to something that was going to happen in a race, which is sad because I'm pretty certain we was going to have rain, but it's sad for me. It's not for anyone else. I'm the only one who enjoys that. Yeah, we'll cook. If it gives us rain again, it gives us rain. It gives us pouring rain, whatever, you'll see. All right, invites will get flooded in. I think we might have to take some time because we're going to probably crash some more people's games, so apologies if it does. I'll be speeding through. Okay, my understanding is that anything else gets needlessly... I don't know if my wording meant that when I first did this. That is what it basically says, but I don't know if that was my intent when I first wrote that down. That's the only reason I'll double check. I will ask you. I will talk with that later. Anyways, missing other cars. Has anyone not received an invite from me? That's already on the list. Dylan, I think, needs an invite as well, and I think there's at least 1 or 2 more PC people. Pooch, I've got to find his name. Oof. That was a scary time. Sorry, everyone. For others, I know everyone did not have an issue, so you've just been whacked back here for no reason in the main lobby, and you might have had a good start, etc. It's rough, it happens. We try and make as many rules that mean we don't have to stress about what to do. We just kind of do it and find out. But we still don't know. But anyways, you get the gist. Bet Pooch waits about 4 AM. Pooch locks in for all the leagues, man. He's already there. Debbie, you have received one. Or at least you have been sent one. Like, you definitely, I've definitely clicked your name. You can have another one, but your name has been clicked. Be patient. We've got stuff to do. We've got busy things to do. I need to send this to my phone because I want to be able to see this on my actual screen at the same time. Save me some time. Phone, give me a clip. It's time for me to set a grid once I have all the cars. Did I not? Oh, well, fair enough. Anyway, well, be patient anyway. Stop showering me. I've got stuff to do. There's a lot going on. Josh, no. Josh, appear online and you can get one. You're not getting one. You're not getting one. Appear online. Can't be having it. Am I? What's going on? Is the words that I'm reading are worrying and scaring me. Yeah, I do hate this system of. What is the vocabulary is good. Vocabulary. There we go. We got the word out eventually. Took me some effort, but we got there. Whew. We're missing how many? I believe 2. 2 more. Who was the name? Shout at me again politely. Anyway, Mr. Spuds is 1, and then that will leave. Who am I missing? Sorry if I'm obviously missing a name. That should be an F11 was different. Okay, so it's just it is just Mr. Spuds. Got you. All right, grids will be set as soon as I see Spuds in the thing, and we can do the business, and then we can get back into the race, and all that jazz. Now, save the screenshot so I can zoom it in big so I don't bottle, and everyone screams at me. Just to be reminding everyone as well, if this goes again and has it, no, yeah, this is what I mean. I definitely need to relook at these wordings because I don't think this counts for that. It does now because we've done it, but yeah, my wording of it, I certainly don't think counts. Anyways, we'll deal with that. Great. Same again. We're taking it from the one-shot quality, so don't worry. If you qualify where you are, you got your position. Turbo's going first. Dylan was starting in 2nd place. Ethan already put him in 3rd. Beautiful stuff. Pooch up into P4. 5th place is Kieran, number 1. Then 6th place is Kieran, number 2. That's Josh's name. Wrong name. We're good. 7th is Rollsby. 8th is Apollo. I realize I can look down without... You can still hear me. I can just look all the way down here. Sorry. I'm afraid you can't hear me for some reason. 9th is Mr. Spuds. 10th is Josh. 11th was Ron, then ART, and then Lightning. And that is the grid order. Double check one more time before I rush away from that one. Here's Kieran. Think. Yep, good. Easy. All right, we can start. No stress. There's a slight amount of stress. Just a tad. Just a tiny bit. Time to ready up. Time to ready up and do our thing. Let's go. False restart, sorry. Void Austria main race. Corruption, manipulation, all the words. Nah, to be fair, I just generally don't think my wording covered the basis of this enough, and my brain assumed it was always in one way. It's being followed properly, it's just I want to update it for future purposes because I don't think that's how it should have been followed. But I'd obviously just done it the next season because keep it consistent. How we do. Fatch mix. I love that that's become a wording term now. I like that. I like Fatch mix. Avatar. No, we're going on. Listen, guys. I've become the one thing I swore to destroy. I've gone too far. I've actually... Anyways, we'll deal with that later. We'll do that later. Can't believe it, man. Can't believe we've done that. Let's go cook. Let's have one drink because I'm gonna need it. And let me go and start a race. No quali. Stand-ups need to be reapplied and all the stuff. But otherwise, we're back where we was about, I don't know, 7, 8 minutes ago, I think is probably when we had to call the restart. Roughly. What did Pooch... Hang on. No, we need to... No, we need to go find this. Certain man we're having arguments with... I want to pin him, but I can't pin him. I can't. What I will be doing is opening up this, which is a screenshot tool. Screenshotting said item, and then remember... That will be going in quotes, is all I'm telling you. That will be firmly living in quotes immediately. In fact, I'm putting it there now. I will be putting it in there right this second. It has to live there. It simply has to live there. All right, good. Moving on. You're looking at us just in colour. Listen, you're looking at I don't have my own thingy chat for elsewhere. Alright, anyways, we can go again. Everyone gets a re-go at the first lap after what happened at the start. Oh, the restart happening at the start, of course, I should say. So, everyone gets another go at tyre strategies. And if you miss setups, they all have another go at that. That's less of a thing I can talk about, because I had no clue who did or not. But tyres I can do. I did say it was going to be... It's an openish mix between one of the two-stop versus a one-stop. There's a couple cars already not taking the grid. Yeah, it's going to be a bit open between the two, so there's options for both to be taking place, which means anyone on a medium can do whatever they like from here. Depends. They might have a game plan if they're going to take it long, push these guys hard, come in a little bit early. Or if there's weather coming in, I'm not sure if there is again this time, but if there is, then you might want to just be on the softer tyre to be there for when it drops in. But the hard tyre is a firm... You're going for the alternate strat. You're warning hoping there isn't any early safety car stuff because that's just going to ruin your day. A spin like there would also ruin your day too. That would ruin it more than other things, I'm not going to lie. But, yes. You don't want anything stopping you early. You kind of just want to get on with your own race, let everyone pit in, and then if something wants to happen VSC-wise, it could come your way. This doesn't nail him onto a one-stop for Apollo. It still leaves him open for a two if he likes. It's just doing it in the wrong order. But it's a firm... option for a more nailed on one stop than the rest. He's gonna be the only one doing it though, so at least a start. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, for the rest of the grids, Teba gets one more go at seeing if he can hold off Dylan, as Dylan already got charging him in the first couple laps that we got to finally see. We'll see if he goes again. The car is once again parked sharply towards the Haas. The lights are off and we are racing in Austria for the third time today, technically. And the Alpine gets a good start once again. The Ferrari back there is trying to make it full wide between a few cars before even turn one. And it's resulting in a spin, and that's for Josh. It's 2 starts in a row. It's not gone well. One, in fairness, he had no control over. But this time it's got even worse. Down to the back of the grid. I guess at the earliest you want anything to happen, it should be on lap 1. Most times to get it back. There's damage and end plates falling off a couple of people's cars. That isn't ideal for quite a few people. I don't think it's gone too well for most. The front few have stayed in the same order. That is a very late break in Williams, who somehow not collided. Oh, it has now. Oh, it has now. Never mind. Ron has now eventually made contact with some car. Ethan is now down there as well. There's a couple people missing a moderate amount of car. Ethan is now retired from the race on track there, and that's not going to give us safety car or anything, but it's one car out of the race. That's not ideal. So that's at least Josh. I don't think he has damage, but he is definitely spun rounds. Ethan has damage and is obviously round on the track, and that is a side-by-side. We've got Roseboy also having that. There's a lot of cars that might be claiming a few. Not been the cleanest run. Bit of a gap as well between Mr. Spuds and all those affected by something happening on the start. Meanwhile, at the front, kind of a bit of breathing room to do their own race so far. Side by side, I believe I'm seeing Pooch and Ethan in the Ferrari. Ethan trying to claim his ground on the track and does take it a little bit further ahead. You're seeing the two leaders at the moment. Turbo trying to keep this position. Dylan's roughly setting himself up at the same time as he did last lap. A last attempt at the race, I should say. And so far takes the lead. Could be a long day for this, though, as DRS is going to keep them in play the whole way. And, I mean, if Turbo's just got the pace to keep it around the outside, that might keep him in play for the rest of the lap. I think he might. I think he just might. It's not done yet. He might have to yield this one, Dylan, and I think he has. Settles for second place, back in the lead for Turbo. Turbo is up for a race here. He's up for a race. Did bits in the sprint after gifted a nice starting result, which you are, because that's how the rules go. If you're slow in the championship, you get to start up. Doesn't always mean if you're low in the championship, you're slow. And that's proven heavily today. Dylan's got some work for him to get himself in the lead. Pooch currently holding onto a nice podium at the moment, but long way to go before I can be calling any of that sort of stuff out. And I think that is a opportunity to make a position straight away into turn 3. It's going to have DRS reserved the other way, reversed the other way, I should say. There's a lot of cars not making this corner. There's corners being avoided by a lot. That's put Kieran behind Kizzo into 6th place. A little bit further back, the gap's now 2 seconds. They're slowly closing in as some of them have started to pass Mr. Spuds, who was leading the gap a little bit. Josh doesn't know what damage he's got, if it's not visual or not. His Mark's not talking to him, apparently. Good to know. The game is the game. I'll try and give it a look on the cars if I want to see. Josh is he's not got any visible front wing, which is a slight bit of good news. we'll find out if that changed anything. But a little bit back. We've got Rosboy trying to see if he can get his way past Mr. Spuds. Everyone else has found their way through and is starting to pull away. It's now one more car's time to see if they can do the same. We'll find out, though. Dylan getting an ever faster lap. He's going to need more of those to hold on to the gap. It's only 0.3 of a second going into the main straight. We'll have a little look at those cars, as I think we might see some DRS getting settled between 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles on the track. One of those vehicles on the track out of the 12 got themselves on the board for track limits already. The hard tire runner as well, not ideal. We're going to board with Turbo, we'll see what he's got. DRS and battery, possibly. No battery, just straight line and vibes. Might not be enough. Unless he wants to do an outrageous send, they both leave each other room. Turbo goes cautious, but Dylan goes giving the room if he wants to have a go for it. They're being nice, respectful of the racing, and I like to see that, of course. I like to see the hard racing where they're taking liberties and really flirting with the rules, but as long as it's on the right side of it, it's fine. This one's so far nicer. Turbo had a great, massive battle with the other Haas in the last round with F1 Lightning, and he was going for it the entire time. They was great racing, but they weren't being nice while they were doing great racing. So maybe the same later on if it changes, if it gets heated up a bit more. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna hear it. Rowlick is now Ted Kravitz. I'll take that. I'm hearing calls of rain in 10 to 15. We'll find out if that actually does become true, because obviously it's on a prox. We have no clue if that's actually... How is Dylan pulling away even slightly? He's not deploying, and he's not got DRS open, and Dylan's started to pull away in that corner. Has to leave the room, though, even though he might be pulling away a little bit. If there's a gap there, a car will have to try and send it. He defends the inside a little. Not enough. Turbo's going to have another look down and see if the door's firmly open. It looks quite open to me, and now with all the other cars getting very involved... I say that, and then Ethan spun a little bit round and is down into... Well, still into fourth, but a little bit further back. I was going to say, with all those cars loitering around, perfect opportunity for someone to pick up some pieces. If the front two just leave a bit bigger of a gap, you can slot a car into it. If Turbo leaves a bit more of a gap to the track than that, he's going to collect a few more penalties to his name. First of the leaders getting their track limit warnings ×3. Second of the leaders getting their track limit warnings ×3. That's Pooch on a 3-second as well. Couple people with pens to the name. We'll leave that on the screen for a bit, as most of the tires are the same. And that is Ethan very far around and into the wall with a safety car to be given. And that's probably the greatest present he could have given as a Ferrari teammate. Going into the wall as soon as his teammate comes around the track. That's Bert Mylander out. That is Josh and the rest arriving perfectly on cue to just say, well, I'm going to have to take that. It's a free gift. You got to do it. What tyres are they going to be picking, though? It's a curious thing I want to know. I don't know if they're going to be going for... I mean, you have to just put on a hard tyre and see what runs, to be fair. It might force them into... I don't know what it forces them into. I actually don't know. I don't think it forces them into anything. At all, really. Yeah, that's a very strong point. Don't know if it does. Might just be an earlier second stop, and then you make it send you later one, and then try some other things out with the remaining sets you've got to put on your car, but we'll see. Damage is still on a couple of his cars. I see Rob's not fixed his. He's on a soft tyre, by the way. I think he's listened to Mark and is firmly waiting for the rain to arrive. I was wondering if any of the other two pitting would do the same, but Spuds and Josh have both said... Excuse me. They didn't say that. I did. They've both said, we're just going to run with our normal strategy and one, get rid of the allocated tyres you need to do. The rain is not guaranteed. It might not rain enough. But some of the leaders have said... We'll do this stop. We'll take a cheat one. Can't be avoiding that one. Dylan, F1 Lightning, both the Haas's and Mercedes, Williams, and the other Ferrari are now all into the pits to make their stop. Not bad double start from the Haas's, considering the F1 game and how it does it. Dylan out into P5. I think he'll keep that position as normal. The other Haas just gets out ahead of Apollo. Not bad. Soft tyre on for another car, by the way. So some of the cars not taking too much risk and just going with their strategy. They don't want to take massive gains. Some cars taking a risk on a soft tyre, which is obviously the best tyre for until the rain comes, just to get the best pace out of it. There's other cars. Now. Aaron Hazel, a Williams driver, a slightly Australian man, has heard Mark's calls of the rain is due in about 5 minutes. And has decided it could rain... I mean, I don't know what he's deciding in his brain. I don't know about that. But what he's doing is waiting for the rain. And he thinks it's happening immediately. So he's on it now. He thinks by the time the safety car is caught up, ready to go and cooking, even if he loses time at the start, he'll gain that back. What I actually think is happening is he's taking a risk and hoping all those things happen. I don't think there's much confidence in there, but I mean, if it pays off from where you are at the back of the grid, that's huge plays. If it doesn't, it's less bad if he was on a soft tire, for example. You just have to take an odd 2-stop to the end of the race if it doesn't rain enough. But if you're under Inter and it's not raining enough, then you're going to take an entire new stop to exist, or else your tires are going to explode from heat and wear and not being on any form of water to cool them down. This is huge risks. Soft tire runner's taking a risk already, plus an intermediate runner waiting for the rain. The clouds have barely descended yet. You can always tell when it's about to rain because the sun just goes away and it becomes overcast immediately on the track. It's not... You can see it's slowly getting a bit cloudy, but it's not there yet. It's not there yet. So, sit rep again. 3 cars, now Ethan joining them on a soft compound tire, expecting some blistering pace until the rain arrives, gain some positions on track, get ahead of them on the track, get the wet tires or whatever is necessary on if needed, and cook. Hard tire runners from a few cars, playing their own strategy. They're not risking mixing it up. They'll just do their own game, do what they got to do, and see what happens when it happens, and they find out. 4 cars at the front, which we haven't really pointed out much, as the safety car's in this lap. That is quick. 4 cars at the front, not pitting at all. They're going for the no stop. They're thinking we don't need to stop yet. We've got healthy medium tires. We'll just run until the rain arrives. They'll last till that point, which is probably what they all wanted to do in the first place. And they're going to keep it going. So the 2 McLarens might be huge gainers if they can hold on to positions. Their game is just to hold on to track positions, see what they can do. Ron, I don't know. I don't know what Ron said. Rain apparently due in 5. So for him, he needs precipitation from the clouds now. Like right this second now. Well, let's see what he's got. I'm intrigued to see the pace difference between semi-used soft, brand new hard tires, brand new softs, and an intermediate tire with grooves in it that can't last on any dry track for more than 2 seconds normally. Ladies and gentlemen, popcorn at the ready. We're about to get back into racing. Let's see what they do. Green flag is running on. There's already a side-by-side, and I think that's between Dylan and one of the McLarens. It is. Dylan's going to take P4 immediately ahead of Kieran. I didn't even think a hard tire would be immediately quicker than that medium, but maybe it is, or maybe that's just pure Dylan. He needs to make moves, and he's doing it now. And F1 Lightning is joining him on the charge. Isn't going to wait too much longer either. And the cars ahead are a tiny bit too slow for the Haas's liking. Apollo's also making moves past the McLaren. Ethan's got track limit penalties. The cars ahead are all over the gaff. Ron is losing a few positions. This is down to 10 for the moment. There's a lot going down as Mr. Spuds has also had a spin further back. 2 of the medium runners have managed to stay in the lead train. One of them's dropped to 4th. Kieran has unfortunately dropped all the way to 8th position already. Swamped is the description that we have to be saying there, as there goes F1 Lightning past Kizzo into 4th. 2.5 runners surviving. None of the soft runners have gained too much ground just yet. Here's the lead of them so far. Apollo has got a penalty, but we'll deal with penalties later. I now think the track is darkening just a little bit more than normal. Bit of a sense, but he's made his way through. DRS enabled again after the, of course, safety car intervention. Not anything to do with the rain. We're just seeing normal action. Josh has obviously used this as a great regain opportunity from the spin. Eached a tiny bit, though. That might yield him a warning. I'm not sure if it's going to nice him there or not. He's settling in 6th. We'll see how his charge does. He doesn't want to let any of these title protagonists get away. Because considering the start, he's right there with them. That safety car that we got gifted by Ethan is nice to him beyond belief. Because he's now here behind everyone he needs to be behind. Well, close to where everyone he needs to be with. Not behind him. That's definitely not where he needs to be. Dylan West has just gone past Poos 2 seconds ago and has now decided, you know what, I'll just take first immediately with a send at the end of turn 4 into the lead of the race. Now he's got control once again. And this time against Turbo, he's got a tyre delta on his hands. And he's still got knowledge of the penalties behind for the 2 cars. A brilliant buffer that he couldn't have dreamed of, at least for this initial stage of this race. We'll see what happens later on. F1 Lightning will obviously want to join in and not let his teammate get all the glory. 1-2 for the team would be great. He'd probably prefer if he was the one in the lead. Hello, rain on the cars. Hello, precipitation. I'm seeing it falling on the roads, on the cars, coming out the sky. Right. I'm giving you leader gap for a little bit. 7 seconds to a certain Williams in P10. That's basically your aim. You want to be watching out on that, and if that suddenly starts to go down quite quickly, I think you know why. And the thing is, 7 seconds is not that much. You really needed it. Like, if you was in the lead and thinking, okay, yes, that's a huge gamble, why would you do that? You're going to lose so much time. Pit stop around here, still 18 seconds. You need another 10 before he doesn't take your position off you. He'll have much worse tires, but still, tire position's key for a little while. You can work with that later on, deal with all that stuff when the race is almost done. 10 seconds, though. He's losing time as we keep going through. It's not going his way, but he's still got 8 seconds in his pocket, essentially, in 10th before he's no longer coming out in the lead once everyone else pits. Then said, though, we do need to see if the rain actually does turn up and make the track wet enough. I mean, if it doesn't get wet enough in enough time, it's toast. Ron Kawasaki pit off his tires. He is having a fight, by the way, back here. No, he's not. Oh, Ron's just pitting in onto, I assume, Inters now. I was going to say that's an early call. It's not. It's actually a late call, technically. But he's going in earlier than expected, as that is F1 Lightning ahead of Turbo, and we've seen what happens when these two race against each other, and it's normally a love tap or two, but I think that exit has mean that battle's pretty much done already. Lost 8 tenths of a second coming straight out of that corner, almost a second. In fact, now it is a second gap. 2 Haas's 1-2 on the brand new hard tyres. Turbo in 3rd place. Josh now on his eyes to see if he can get back into 3rd himself. The Cream Risers top 3 in the championship. Dylan had a clean race in. Therefore, Lionel and Josh are still back there, but they've managed to find their way more or less to the front on similar strategies. It's what you expect to see from the top people. All 3 NSL champions. Season 9 for Dylan, season 8 for F1 Kid, F1 Lightning. That's the first time I made a mistake there. Have that. And last season for Josh. It's a little different. It's a little different, but it's also a little bit of the same. Pitches into the pits, joining some of the others on the intermediate runs. Ron, lead into runner, 14 seconds away from the front. Track, still, I'm not sure. It's not Inters. It's not there yet. It's just damp. It's a damp track. Rise will be a little bit annoyed and struggling. It's probably what we've got at the moment. Josh, 3rd place. Onto his name. He's got ahead on DRS. Let's see if Turbo can retaliate a little bit, but I just don't think with those tires he's got anything he can do right now, especially with the conditions. Doesn't really help. Tire though doesn't really matter. It's just, is your tire worn? Yes, you probably don't have much grip then, no matter what the compound is. If it's not worn, you probably still don't have much grip, but you have more than your opposition, and that's important. Top 3 is as usual, but we'll see how everything else goes on. 3 seconds to Spuds. At the moment, the gap between Ron and Co is 15 seconds. And we're seeing him closing in on a car ahead. Now this is a good check. Is he slowly putting pressure on Kieran's car on an intermediate tyre? I don't think we're far away. 3 seconds is all he needs to keep before he doesn't end up having the lead. And I think that might be Kieran coming into the pits. In fact, that's going to be a little tight if they go in at a different speed. It is Kieran coming into the pits. 15.6 seconds. Turbo's joining in for the pit as well. Intermediate tyres for the Alpine. Not sure where exactly he's going to slot out just yet, but we'll figure it out in a second. I think it's slowly evened out now. I think they're getting closer to being even pace. 16.3 though. It's not just there yet. It's close. I generally reckon it's going to even out on pace-wise between a dry tyre and an Inter, to the point where Ron's not losing time, exactly when it becomes a pit stop gap between Ron and the leaders. That might be what happens. That really might be what happens, and in which case, that's going to be a fun battle coming out of the pits. 7-lap old Inters as well compared. That's going to be advantage to whoever does come through the pits. But if they're second, then just a bit more work to do. Ron's got his workout. Let's see what he does. Lead soft runner, still out on the soft tyres. Track position gained hugely, but he's also out on a soft tyre on a slowly increasingly wet track, and showing that he's lacking some grip at the same time, proving that it is getting a little wetter. If he pitted, he would lock into roughly where? Just behind Kieran, I think. A little bit further ahead of that, around that sort of point. I was wondering if one of the front two would do this, and I thought F1 Lightning might be one to pick it. Comes in a lap earlier than his teammate. Not waiting for his team to go first. He's going to be one of the first to call it. Now, I think, if my brain's right, this is a guaranteed he comes out behind Ron. Pretty certain, as yeah, I mean, F1 Lightning is there. He's already out behind. He's cut these losses, and he's trying to undercut his teammate maybe on the switch over. And you can really make it work. You can also really get it badly wrong if you pit a lap early. We have no clue. There's a spin. I think that's from Mr. Spuds through the middle sector. He's recovered, though, and he's going back on. He's just closing in and being lapped, but don't think that'll matter because these front two are due to pit anyways. Now we're back to Dilla, Josh at the front. Again, the usual, the norm. 16.7, that gap is not moving too much. Cars are going to have to overtake Ron for this win. It's a given. Unless I hit the mic, or there's a safety car coming about, this is not going to help any... Well, like, Ron's in the lead battle for this. Like, absolutely in the charge for this one. 16.5, holding the entire way around that lap. Dylan's in. Josh follows his suit. Off into the pits himself. A little bit of grass on the way in. Was a little worried. He might have a pirouette into the way to the pits. On board with Josh? No, sorry. On board with Ron. I think we should do. I mean, they're gaining now. He gained slightly just before they came into the pits. I'm pretty certain, though. Both Ron and F1 Lightning might take this position. This might not just be one of the Hasses getting done, but it might be two. Let's see. Let's get on board with him as he comes out of the pit lane. Sees his teammate behind. Third place for Dylan. And Josh, 4 seconds down. That's a lot of positions. I mean, I know it was 4 seconds and it evens. That just makes sense. But 4 seconds losing the Pooch and to Turbo. This is going to be a massive battle for the win here. There's also 20 seconds left to go. I don't know if it gets wetter, doesn't get wetter, and just stays as it is, gets drier? I don't know. I have no clue. Let's just talk about here and now. Kieran's still not being boxed yet and is sticking out for a little longer. I wonder if he's had a call to say that the rain's drying up soon. And he's going the opposite way of what Ron did and saying, well, I'm going to save a pit stop by basically being on the right tire well before everyone else. Lose some time whilst it's transitioning and go back. But, I mean, it's not full inter. It's just enough, as you can see, to force most on. To be fair, when most people do force onto the pits, it's more like you just don't want to get overcut or undercut, sorry, by your rivals. I mean, if they've all done it, even if it's quick and stay out on the other one, it's just less risk averse to just do the same as them, and then all of you come back onto the same tire. So, fair enough, but maybe the optimum start genuinely was just to ride it out and firm. You just couldn't take the risk if you're as a leader, but if you're a car in the middle of the pack who wants to steal some big points, you can. I mean, Kieran could go to the end of the race from here. Let me check his race strats. Kieran pitted in and just did his race strat normally. He's not fitted a single intermediate tire on. He could just go to the end. We'll see when that happens later on. We need to watch the leaders as they are switching around, as F1 Lightning is now finally past Ron. But keep an eye on what Kieran's race is doing. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued if that does play out and go the other way around. 4 times of a second gap as Ron's being passed. Those intermediate tires are going to start to feel a little old. Dylan getting straight through, not leaving any chance to waiting behind and getting held up for even a half a second, because that can be paying dividends if you get it done early. And Turbo said he's going to. So the gamble did work for position, but once the battles actually came to happen, not much Ron could do through some corners. As now he's settling into 4th. No DRS to save him too. He's got to keep up purely on pace, vibes, and tyre grip. And I don't think his 11-lap old inters have got much of that. And also considering it's still not really inters yet. It's like 75% of the way there. Look, I've got 1 horror stream and 1 F1 one. Yeah, I believe that is 2 horror streams. That's 2. Horror stream? Damn. Welcome back here, by the way, Nova. Welcome in. Hope you're good. Horrors that's a scary word. I'll be having that. Guess we do. Let's go back to Infill Gap, by the way, so we can... Actually, no. Leave that on... Sorry, Leader Gap. I still want to keep an eye on the further gaps happening a little back on the grid. As Kizzo and Rolls-Royce jostling position for the last point on the grid as well. The McLarens versus the Mercedes. Hot on their heels. Let me get a championship up for those two. The Mercedes are on a grand total of 37 points. McLaren's on 34. So, between those two, it's kind of fused to see who gets that position in the Constructors eventually. And one of the teams has 2 points scorers in the building. One of them, though, has the most points scored by a single driver. So we'll see if that does change and do anything different. Ron's now being passed, I think, by... Oh, hang on. No. Now, Josh claimed he was taking risks. Josh claimed he was taking risks after earlier stuff in the season. Now, some arguably have said they're yet to see some of those big risks. I think I've seen a few, but not, it's been slowly building up. This might be one of the bigger strategical risks that I am seeing. He's gone for the Kieran strat. And he's decided he's hopping on a dry tire a little earlier than everyone else. While it's still raining, but it's not fully into yet. It's just on that brink. It's slowly getting lighter, I'm assuming. He's onto a hard tire. He's onto a hard tire. He's trying it. Kieran is losing time, I should point out. He's not losing a lot. He's lost like 3 seconds in the last 2-3 laps. Which isn't bad. Which means it's going to get a little better for the rest. The leaders have got to keep an eye on this. This could be a Josh play to go from the last to first, from at least the start of the race to the front. 22-second gap. Will the front two respond? Will any of them respond immediately? Will they keep an eye and think, I just got to cover him off for the title, do something? Or are they going to think, it's fine, we can play our card. He's going to lose loads of time. We don't have to worry about it. DRS is enabled, though. That might make the call for them. 23-second gap between Josh and the top 3, basically, because they're all equidistant. This could be big. Ron's close to a puncher, apparently. It's a shame. I only just went on board as he's pitting in now. Damn, could at least give me the punch on the grid. I mean, okay, boring, but fine. Medium tires for him till the end of the race, I'd like to say. That's probably doable. Might be a little bit roughy by the end of the race on those mediums, but he's doing it. Coming out of the pits, I think he will come out behind Josh as he does. If that's that, well, that's just not on the track, is it? That's firmly not on the track. Rosberg's into the pits, but he's also sped in slightly a bit too quickly. That's 10 seconds. Massive penalty for speeding into the pit lane. I wish that was still 5. A bit too harsh. But either way. Gap is holding at 23, and the bottom half of the grid have all taken a hit. They've all seen DRS enabled and said it's time to make the call. So when do these guys do it? I mean, there's no point waiting much longer. The rain is still falling, but that's about all they've got on their heads. Now, it's going to have to be a double stack for the Haasers, though. That's going to be an issue. Holding up Alpine a tiny bit, as I think he's, 1, trying to get a tiny bit of space. He's only lost about 3 tenths since then. And 2... it's just losing grip coming into the pits. Okay. All right, let's see how it goes. I think net, though, as I was going to say, Josh has probably lost a tiny bit of time, but it was worth a gamble. It was worth a gamble. That's a slower stop than expected. Why was that so slow? That might be huge for the front. We'll find out. That was slow as hell. What has happened? I mean, Turbo's ahead into the lead of the de facto people who have pitted. Why was Dylan stopped so long? And that's obviously a compounder for F1 Lightning stop, and now he's having to wait so much longer. What happens? I'm confused why there's even a variation of that, but regardless, that's huge for the thing. Turbo's now ahead of Dylan and of F1 Lightning. Josh, 3 seconds away from Dylan's car on a hard tire. The rest have all gone for mediums pretty much. And I'm pretty certain they can take those to the end as Turbo's already immediately getting battled straight away. Little bit of a barge as well. Don't know if he intended that, but that's what it looks like probably from both POV of Dylan and from us. He's going to have to keep trying this one, see what he can do for the rest of it. This is huge. I don't know what specifically happened in the stop. It just looks like a naturally slow stop, but I just didn't think that happened in multiplayer lovers. I thought it was just fixed to being, if you got the turn in right, which is very easy to do, you're pitting in and you're doing the same time no matter what. Apollo's finally into the pits. Pooch is still out on the track. The rain has stopped. That's all I need to say. But anyways, so I don't know why, but regardless, that's a bit wide. That's never car's doing that. I hope the grid's penalising that with warnings, because it's a bit... don't like seeing that sort of thing. Or also, never mind that there is penalties on the grid. There's yawns on the grid as well, apparently. We're yawning mid-race. I don't know why we're yawning. This is moderately entertaining. I'm kidding. It's pretty damn entertaining. We've got 13 seconds to see Pooch and the rest. If he comes out into the pits, we'll deal with that later. If Dylan comes out ahead of Turbo here, it's a not bad move indeed, and I think he has done... It's not done yet. It's not completed yet. He's still going round the outside, and he has done it round the outside, and that will be putting Dylan into P2 and into the overall lead of the race eventually, unless something crazy happens and Pooch doesn't end up... I mean, Pooch... Okay. I stand corrected. Pooch has got 90 seconds of pens in an NSL race. Never mind. Never mind. Turbo's got himself another 3 seconds of penalties whilst chasing Dylan on the roads, putting in maximum work and effort here to try and get himself at least on the lead of the race temporarily if it's on track. We'll find out. There's a lapped car of Rosberg, I think, mixing in between the two, and that might just... I was going to say it would have given DRS to one of them if they was already behind, but unfortunately, it's not going to benefit anyone else other than what normally would have happened. Dylan's going to have DRS on turbo, whacks that open, and gets himself a push. Behind, by the way, Josh has gained a little bit of time. He's 2.1 seconds away while these two have been battling. And outside he goes. Takes as much of the track as he can, but just doesn't stay on close enough to the apex at all. Loses all his time, and Turbo's back ahead. This is horrible for Dylan's side. It is great for Josh's side. Josh does have his own 3-second penalty to his name. That has to be recent, unless I'm blind. Was I blind? When did Josh claim that 3 second? That had to be like semi... He got 2 on lap 1. It was semi-recent. Okay, I wasn't being blind. Fair enough. I think the 2 might not been for might have been for contact more than just the actual track limit stuff. But either way, regarding that, he's gonna get closed in. Josh will like this. The more they fight, the more he just gets to close in for free. He doesn't have to do much more effort on it. And the tyres obviously aren't exactly in his favor right now. They will be later. So the longer this can happen, the better. Dylan is probably just fuming. He just wants to get away. He knows the car ahead's got plenty of pens that he doesn't have to deal with, but he doesn't want to be sat in the 2-second pocket as he rear locks into turn 3 and does get the move done though while he does it. He doesn't want to be sat just in this pocket, not going anywhere. And as you can see, he's deploying his entire battery and he says, you know what, I don't want to see the back of this Alpine for the rest of the day. He knows he just wants to run away. Doesn't want to see anyone else. Gap to the leader is 1.3 between Josh and Dylan. The next car that hasn't got penalties to Dylan is F11 and his teammate, 3.6 away. Who, yeah, just got done in by the slow stop that his teammate had, which I'm still perplexed by, as you can tell, because I keep bringing it up. But he's got some time to work on if he wants to close in. He's got Ron very close behind. Pooch has got a never... Pooch might get disqualified. Pooch... I didn't post the Sonny Hayes from this week because I didn't have time to edit it. But the winner... You could guess who it might have been after seeing what happened in the last race. And if 22 seconds of pens keeps getting increased on, it might be a more broader way of showing it, but there may be a new contender for 3 times in a row on Sonny Hayes. I wouldn't like it to be the same, but it could be a contender. Don't want to specifically keep an eye on that, but might have to. Might have to have a little look at it. Turbo, by the way, is not letting Dylan go. Dylan is... As we speak, in hot lap and burning battery, he had 70% on that end of that straight last time. He's trying to pull away, but DRS is not letting him. Pace of Turbo and DRS is saying, that's enough for me, I'll stay with it. And in the meantime, Josh is also closing in lap by lap. The medium tyres are getting slightly worse compared to the hard tyres, so it's always coming to Josh in terms of his tyre pace. And they're fighting slightly. They're not exactly running away cleanly. Dylan does have the control. Even if Josh overtook him and stuff, he's fine, but... If you overtake him, it gets in your head a little bit, you start making mistakes because you know, yes, you might be behind, but if they pull away for a second, you can't physically hold them away with, like, racing and defending. So, you kind of just want to be in the lead no matter what and not have to deal with any of that trouble. There's a lot of penalties on the track. I'm not even going to... That's a lot to show on a screen. I think it's better to just not have them. We'll get back to them later on. Josh closing DRS and lifting a little bit earlier on. Doesn't want to get a little bit too close before the next turn. And because Dylan had to slow up early behind the car, nothing wrong with that. Josh just has to do some avoiding action. And Josh ends up losing some time of his own. Dylan now having another attempt on Turbo into turn 4. Gets the position done initially, but Turbo's going to come back down the insides. And if he can hold on to it, which he does, the order's the same. And the net game for that is lost time for first, second, and third. And F1 Lightning and Co are now going to slowly keep closing in if they keep doing that. So this is just going to keep getting even better for the rest of the grids. And keep getting worse for the top 3. We'll see. Well, specifically for some people in the top 3. That's a yellow flag for about... That's Mr. Spuds, I think, has gone wide at turn 3. He is still going, though, but has lost a little bit of time, and I think he's closing in on being lapped by one of the McLaren. Has that been lapped by one of the McLarens? I'm not even too sure. It must be. But that's P10, so... Damn, that's a lap or 2 on the board. There is a few penalties. Yeah, track limits have claims, as you can see. A few victims. I think Rosboy and Pooch both have 10 seconds for speeding into the pits. The rest are track limits from pretty much everyone else. Yeah. Just a few. Just a few. Just a few. They're still jostling. And now Josh has turned up on the scene. And he might be trying to make it 3 wide, but he decides to not take it so far. Dylan had to make that move. If Dylan didn't make it, it weren't happening. It weren't running at all. They've gone past and gone ahead. It's Dylan in first. It's Josh in second. It's Turbo. Hang on. Hold on. It's not Josh in third. He's waiting. Why are you watching his foot? Because he had a moment, so I went to look and watch. Listen, don't worry about it. We're back. We're back on the lead battle. It's fine. Shush. It's good. Okay, we're okay. We're good. These three are going to keep going on for a hot second. We're going to see what keeps going down. That is an overspeed, if I've ever seen it initially, but it doesn't keep all that for the next part of the straight. Oh, little love tap. That's not too bad. Just a bit of mismatch and braking, but you've seen worse in racing. It's okay. Dylan doesn't have DRS and has now got 2 cars. Very hungry to take the lead ahead of him, but both have pens. He knows this. Doesn't make a difference. They're going to be going for it. Oh, is that Turbo going for it for a second? He has a little look. Doesn't actually go for it. He must have known the front two might not want to make any moves done. How is Josh not get... What's going on in the straight line speed differences? Half of these cars are not doing it. For the first time ever, Josh isn't motoring past people in a straight line. He lost so much speed to Turbo initially on that other straight. DRS was helping, of course. And a little bit of battery. Why is he gaining negative speed on the straight? He is solely gaining drag and no speed for his efforts as Josh goes wide. Doesn't grip onto the track. Well, if he's got more wing, it's not helping him. I'm not sure what's going down. He loses some time and he's now going to have to settle a little bit further down for third, but he's still here. So there's a little bit of time on his hands and he'll have to work a little bit hard to get closer. Ron and F11 are still fighting, meaning I don't think they're really closing in much on these top 3. 2.9 away. I mean, Ron is within 3 right now, but they was always within 3. They've just dipped over it. So technically, they're still within the cards of someone in the top 3 making an error, making a mistake. I mean, Josh is on 3 seconds. Turbo's on 6, so one of these two is gaining one of the podium positions. Can both of them gain both? And the podium is set between possibly Dylan. I don't know if he's going to have it yet. And none of the other two are alongside, as that's a little bit of a love tap. And that's just sticking his nose in at the same time. Opportunistic send keeps both of those cars ahead of Dylan, or puts both those cars ahead of Dylan. I don't know what this is going to end like. Even though the pens might make this an easy scenario of, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's not an easy don't worry about it because contact could happen. They're racing whilst they're doing it. They're not just 5 seconds away and you don't have to worry about them fighting. Contact means penalties don't mean nothing until the checkered flag is out. And they're all across the track. Dylan also could just be 3 seconds away from gaining another track limit warning if he's on a few and get his own pen, which means all of this means nothing and Josh is legitimately in the lead. It might not even be Josh in the leader race at that point. It could be someone in 4th who wins. You get the point? It's all mad. It's all mad. We will check warnings eventually. Don't worry, I will. It's just, there's too much racing for me to check. I need the DRS zone to be ending. And then I can have a think about looking at it. Dylan's driving some battery on the Ferrari and the Alpine's head top. One of them's going for a move down the inside. Dylan follows his way through on the Alpine. Can't completely do it just yet. Gonna have to settle for side-by-sides. Josh is ahead of Turbo. One of the first times that's happened for a hot second. 6 laps to go. There's time to pull 3 seconds. There's time to pull it. Problem is, DRS has been so good and powerful as there's 3 zones and it's powerful in general. It's hard to pull away. If he breaks a second, it's huge. It's absolutely huge, and that absolutely could end up being... You'll see Josh immediately whack on hot lap, dump all his battery, and have a go. Let me see if I can check warnings for Dylan's car quickly. Dylan hasn't got a single warning. Okay. Never mind. So Dylan won't be gaining track limit warnings anytime soon, or penalties anytime soon, because he's far too clean of it today. Nange Austria is crazy, by the way. Okay, how clean you are. You're getting a track limit pen at Austria. At least 1 warning. Maybe not a pen, but at least a warning. That's impressive. That, I'll admit, is fairly impressive. I'll give him that. Fair game. Front 3, switching again. There's Dylan ahead of Turbo. That was probably bigger than he faced, because, like, if Turbo's the one who's losing a little bit of time to Josh, it's less to lose for him. He's got 6 seconds, and Dylan's just out here thinking, well, Josh pulls away 3 seconds, he's done. As long as Dylan's the car director behind, he probably feels less bad about it because he can at least control how much time he loses on his side. And while I'm waffling about that, Turbo is not letting him cleanly get this position and is keeping it completely side by side. We'll get back on board. Does Cleaner get ahead eventually? Oh, it's close. It's close. 0.8 of a second. Is that Josh dropping some battery usage to get that gap, or is that purely just... I think it is purely just, yep, all speed and a little bit of time lost from the other cars. I was wondering if there's ever... Is there ever a time in their head like, okay, the gap's 8 temps, 8.5 temps. That's my trigger. I'm dumping my battery. I'm trying to break the second. I don't know if that exists for any of these front three. It's too close. I think you can just... It's easier to just not do anything like that and hold on to your train and work it out later. Rosboy getting another 3 seconds. That's up to 18 for his car. Pooch just settled on a healthy 25. Not bad. I would like to call what position some other cars are in. That's a snap and a half. But with the penalties, I'm going to leave the actual order officially until we get to the end of the race. There are a couple cars close. I believe that is going to be Kieran closing in at turn 3. In fact, there's more than Kieran closing in. He's going to set himself a move into turn 3. Straight braking. Not done yet, as Paul's going to have that move back done again. Gets his move back done. Nice. With DRS, so he pulls back away. Not a bad spot, but unfortunately, Kieran's going to have to settle away for P9. They're also going to get points if it stays where it is. I don't know how many positions Pooch is going to lose, if any, actually, because there's big gaps over there. I'm confused, but there's some shuffling to be done later on. That's a moment. That's Turbo still going wide one more time than he liked. He's now on 9 seconds of pens. That's his podium chance. I mean, his podium chances were done after the first, I think, unfortunately. That's Dylan going down the inside. Locking the rears, and I do believe he got behind the detection point before. That will be a rear wing open for both him and also Turbo, who's opportunistic. He said, I'll take first place on track off your hands. Why not? Brakes extremely late. The pair of them couldn't brake any later. Turbo's still in the lead on track. Dylan, after a nice move, is up into seconds. Josh can't take the position back on track just yet. I don't know what to call any of this yet. We're still on lap 33. There's a lot of racing still to be going on yet. I know it's only 3 and a bit laps, but that's a lot to do. That's a little bit of a snap for Josh. He's going to lose a 10th or so, but he's still just about there. No big stress or pressure. We'll keep going. F11 and Ron have still been going slightly at it or just been trading places and trading a little bit of time, but the gap's 4.7. That's going to make the lives of getting a podium a little bit more tricky from Josh because 4.6 is bigger than 3. So you might not be able to take that position off him. Josh might be safe from losing that. Turbo, though, is within range of losing position to at least... I think even Pooch might be ahead of him. Well, no, sorry, not Pooch. Pooch, if he had no pens, would be ahead of him. As on cue, as I mentioned that, Pooch has got another 3 seconds up to 28. But Ron and F1 Lightning might steal that one back as the front three are shuffling again. Dylan is going to try and retake the position. I think there's 3 wide been sniffed. For a second, it was. The Ferrari, though, is going to have to take the lead off Dylan's head top. For now, plenty of space being given, though, and they're going to keep it going. The hard tires, as I mentioned, will start to... Oh, my lord. That was a small gap. He was trying to contort his car into. I respect it. But yeah, the hard tires right now definitely should be the better ones out of these 3. We've got the 2 cars behind on mediums and Josh on a hard. I don't think it's going to be like massive, but it's enough to give Josh a little bit of advantage. Just a tiny bit. He'll be sliding a little bit less than the rest. Might have less initial clip, but a bit more now. You get the point. Josh is probably advantage on terms of car pace. Human pace in the car is undetermined, as we never know. It's the name of the game. We can just guess and have fun with it ourselves. That's a bit of a wide turbo still off the curb. Probably caught a bit of a beach and had to readjust. How's he going to readjust up the straight, though? How are even going to readjust? Will he wait? He will. As they all do up to turn 3. I believe they're going to line up a move on a Ferrari engine vehicle. As that's another 3 seconds for Rosboy. I think that's going to put him up over the 20s, I think. It does. He's on 21. None of the top 3 are close enough this time to shuffle positions. For the first time in a while, they're actually going to start turn 3 and end turn 4 in roughly the same order that he started it in. Not bad. Different, but I respect it. Not too bad for these guys. Anyways, it's still going. 5.5 seconds now. If we get a leader gap, just so I can have some maths. I want to make my life a little easier as Pooch is pooching. That's now a verb. I've decided. 3 seconds penalty, as I reminded, for Josh who go to final lap. There's cars just making a tiny bit of contact through the final corner. And I'm guessing he might have gotten illegal because he very, very easily get that position back. We'll deal with the maths later. I think I'll just let the game deal with it because I want to call this last lap properly. Into the first lap of who decides who wins the race. Let's find out. Josh is in the lead. Turbo's in second, but with a lot more pens and is just here for vibes and fighting along the gaff. He wants to win on track if he can. It feels good, and he's had a good week overall in this race. It's just penalties have been on his wrong side of it. Dylan just has to exist. If he exists and doesn't spin, lose everything, he's fine. And doesn't take massive, huge risks. But he still wants a second place on the track, and he's gonna go and get such things for himself. And he's not doing it completely, though. It's still going. Like, do you really want to risk the fact that you could get cut off? There's end plate damage on the Alpine. He's risking it, though. He doesn't care, and he's going to keep second on the track. These lot are risking things I wouldn't dare to do. The gap's now over a second. It's not going to matter enough, though, as I'm pretty certain that's going to leave the order the exact same as it was always going to be for at least the last part of the race. Josh gets it over 3 seconds on the final corner. Crosses the line in the lead. Dylan will take the win of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's second for Josh. I don't think, though. I don't think as Boost DNFs on the before the line again. I don't think it matters. Josh will still take seconds. We've got Turbo in third. Rod in fourth. Ethan in F1 Lightning does take fifth off Ethan's hands. 6th place will go to Ethan. And eventually, Pooch will tumble down. He might be out of the points in a second. Apollo's going to have 7th place, sorry, not second, in his first race in NSL. Kieran and Kizza will gladly take some extra points on their hands and have hopefully 8th and 9th on their head tops. Rosboy and Spuds, though, with been a lap down, will not be able to take any more, and they will just have to miss out on the points, which is a shame because Pooch will get classified with 1 point. If those two were still on the same lead lap, would have just snuck in an extra point for themselves. Not going to be able to do it. That's going to be close. Kizzo is enjoying himself on his way into the pits. Well, or across the line. That's 9th place. That's across the line. We wait for one more. And that is your lot for the session. I don't know what I should be telling you what happened here. GG's to Dylan for winning the race. I think that's the only concrete position for a lot of that day I could call in the end. That's about all I've got for you. That's about all I've got. Should we read the order and see what the hell the game actually says? Provisionally is how the race ended. I think we should, because there's nothing else my brain can say. In the leads, 1st place, we have Dylan. The only person, well, no, him and F11 Lightning, the only people who didn't end up getting an actual track limit penalty overall. I don't think Dylan even got a warning. He might have squeezed on in the last lap. 25 points to his name again, regardless. We've got Josh in 2nd place from pretty much the back of the grid. And after a spin, it's a pretty damn good recovery. Just a little bit short of the win. Dylan still gains points ahead of him. But it's a nice drive to get back to that position. Turbo in 3rd with the fastest lap. It's a pretty damn good race round entirely for him. Got the sprint win, starting at the front. Started at the front for the proper race. And ended up only having to take a 3rd, but pretty damn good job fighting with the leaders. He showed what he had there. Ron in 4th place. F1 Lightning in P5 to wrap up the top 5 for the teams. Hassel gain a few more points on the Ferraris as Ethan is in 6th. Then we got Apollo, Kieran and Kizzo. The 2 Kierans wrapping in 8th and 9th. It's 6 points for them versus the 6th for Mercedes, which pretty much means the order between those two in the constructors stays the same. It's still Mercedes ahead by a couple points. Pooch is now Ron. Pooch gets a point after a Pooch finish. With Rodboy in 11th, Spuds in 12th, last 2 finishes, not unfortunately in the points, a lap or 2 down, and then Ethan, the only DNF we had in the main big race, and that was some results that happened. That is what I can tell you currently on the board. Thoughts? Thoughts, everyone? I should also say, oh, I've just unmuted my second mic. That would have been a bit annoying to have 2 mics. Calendar-wise, so you know what we got next up is Monaco. It's Monaco, baby. That's going to be the next race up that we've got to race at. It's not next week. It's a week afterwards. We've got a week break, so next Tuesday we will not be having any NSL action. We get a week. You can chill, do what you like. Well, I mean, do what you like in your own life regardless, but either way, no NSL that evening. The week after that, we're back with the last 6 of the season, the last half. Monaco, Monza, Spa, Canada, Brazil, and Vegas. With indeed 2 more sprints remaining. And I'm excited for Vegas to be one of them. We'll see how that one goes anyways. We've got some time. Spa Mania 1, I should say, so you know what the 2 sprints are. And if you watched and you thought, get me involved some. Well, here's the details on how to get involved some. !NSL in the Twitch chat if you've not already typed it or seen it pinned in the top. Click the link to join the NSL Discord. Hop in, join in, read the rules, see how you got to sign up. Basically, as long as you do 1 clean race, you're allowed to get a full-time seat. If you don't want one, you can just reserve and chill and vibe, but everyone's welcome. Just don't be an esports person. That's all you got to do. And yeah, if you're on YouTube VOD, link in the description, because obviously you're not a Twitch chat, you're a YouTube VOD. Go check over there. That's the order. That's your lot. That's whatever happened. We'll be back in 2 weeks for that.